Hello, YouTube. It's your boy GZTV, and part one of the Travis Scott iceberg. The first half of it is posting right now. Hopefully, that'll be on the channel in the next 10 minutes or so. I'm not really sure how that works. But yeah, we're gonna get into this. We have the the third episode of season 11, Hunted. Obviously, they came to grips with the Reapers. They had a little interaction. So yeah, the plot, critical reception. You guys know how this goes. Those two videos will at least be coming out today. I'm not really sure about the rest of the iceberg. I'll see how much I can get finished. But yeah. So as the Reapers ambush the scavenging team in the woods, Cole is concerned and killed by a Reaper after getting his throat slit, while Duncan, Gabriel, and Negan are wounded in the process. The group scatters, so yeah, Cole dies, and a couple of the characters from their group dies. Maybe not like the biggest members, but some people from like Maggie's camp that we didn't quite know yet died off. And this is obviously like the show creators saying, oh, we're not interested in their characters. The following day, Maggie continues to be hunted by two Reapers, but later joins up with Negan and Alden in an abandoned department store. There, Maggie and Negan fend off Reapers, killing one together, and begin escorting a badly injured Alden to safety. He obviously got hurt by one of the Reapers, and now Maggie and Negan are kind of forced to work together, and it's kind of one of those common tropes where two characters hate each other, yet they still have to work together. The trio continues on and reunites with Duncan and Agatha as the former is dying from his wounds. Duncan implores Maggie to get Agatha home safe before dying and being put down by Maggie. So that is another character. And, now that I think about it, Agatha was supposed to go home safely. Well, just wait what happens. This is kind of a fucked up thing that I just realized. I just put together now. I know I'm kind of slow for that. Let's keep going. Meanwhile, outside of Alexandria, Carol, Rosita, Magna, and Kelly retrieve some of the community's escaped horses. Obviously, this is a really big thing for them because they need to have good transportation. Though many of the horses have been killed by walkers, the group finds 4 surviving horses and secure them at an abandoned farm. By evening, Gabriel has recovered from an injury inflicted during the attack and finds a mortally wounded Reaper. He sees him hobbling away. He goes to approach him. The man, who's played by Hans Christopher, obviously isn't a big part of the series, but there you go. He asks Gabriel to pray with him, insisting that he should pray for his enemies, saying that he thought Gabriel was a man of God, but Gabriel says God isn't here anymore, and kills him, executes him. Maybe that shows a change in Gabriel's character. I thought it was a bit corny when it happened, and if I'm not posting a thumbnail for an episode, most likely I'm not that interested in what the hell is happening, but yeah. Across the forest, Negan's group then continues into the woods, only for Agatha to be bitten by a walker, and again, Duncan try to get Maggie to promise that she'll get Agatha home, and that doesn't happen. And again, it's fucking sad, man. The show's kind of fucked up for putting that in there. As she is quickly overwhelmed and devoured, Agatha orders Maggie to move on without her. Maggie is dragged away by Negan when she refuses to leave, and again, we know why she refuses to leave. She didn't want to break the promise. And she's a really good leader for that. So, Carol and her group bring the 4 horses back to Alexandria. The retrieval of the animals brings a sense of hope to the community. It's like a beacon of hope, kind of like a sign of good things to come. However, Carol is forced to slaughter one of them to provide food for the starving people. And at first, I was watching this and I was like, what the hell is she doing? But then I realized they're super fucking short on food. And obviously, horse meat isn't ideal. I've heard some things about horse meat. It is super rough. And yeah. Okay, I think my Travis Scott video dropped, so shit, sorry. If you guys want to go check that out, I'm sorry, I was really eager. I was checking in the middle of the video. Tension also continues to grow between Carol and Magna believes that they should tell Kelly that Connie is dead, despite neither knowing if she's alive or not. Yeah, you don't know. So why would you tell her? Why would you tell her these things? That's kind of a stupid thing, and I guess it's hard for us to say that because we've seen her alive wandering through the woods. She's not a confirmed dead character on the show. Taking shelter in a church with Negan and Alden, Maggie remains determined to retrieve supplies from the supply depot in Arbor Hills. She wants to continue with the mission, which is kind of fucking crazy. Alden insists he is too injured to continue and requests to be left behind. Negan implores Maggie to make the call, but she defiantly blames him for the fall of the hilltop. She just keeps on bringing shit up, all the personal stuff that has happened in the past. She keeps on just agging him on about it. However, Negan is undeterred and insists Maggie needs to decide what to do nonetheless. I mean, Negan at this point has kind of gotten used to being hated on like this, so doesn't really give a shit. She ultimately agrees to obey Alden's wishes. She continues on with Negan, though she quickly becomes uncomfortable when Negan hits a walker with a crowbar in a similar fashion to how he killed Glenn. Maybe not the best cliffhanger, but I guess it kind of creates some imagery. And yeah, let's talk about this episode a little bit. This video won't be too long. It's mixed among critics. I mean, it got a 54%, 6.7 out of 10 on Rotten Tomatoes, 13 reviews. While the simmering grudge between Maggie and Negan continues to provide tension, Hunting finds The Walking Dead stumbling with choppy pacing and cheap storytelling shortcuts. 4 out of 5 by Den of Geek. As far as cold opens go, this one runs hot, and while it burns itself out quickly, it's a perfect setup for the following episode, which features The Walking Dead in hunting mode for both the A-plot and the B-plot. I don't know why the fuck you're spoiling that, but okay. This was seen as a weak episode by some. I mean, the opening two were better, though better still as one long episode. But when you stand all three next to each other, it's a pretty shaky start to The Walking Dead's final season that does little to make me kind of optimistic for what comes next. This is honestly one of the least interesting seasons so far. The Reaper storyline, super dried out, and obviously we've gotten so many fucking villains in this show that is kind of the case, but yeah. B- on the AV Club. The merits of this episode begin and end with Maggie and Negan's mark. Unfortunately, Hunted is also structured like a very typical episode, meaning there are B plots and C plots to which we keep cutting back, neither of which is handled terribly gracefully, and some of these are just not interesting. The only interesting thing is Negan and Maggie's rivalry and how they interact with each other, because Negan is one of my favorite characters in the series, and I love watching him interact with other characters. I think it's awesome, but at the same time, I can't stand them fighting horses for the community. Who gives a fuck? There's a bigger battle at hand. Obviously Gabriel killing that man. God isn't real here anymore. He said that many times in the series. It gets kind of old. I can't think of any of the other stories. I think that's the three main storylines for the episode. That's kind of my thoughts. But leave a like, comment, subscribe. As always, it is GZTV, giving you guys the best TV show, the best movie content. I feel like I'm in a rush in some of these videos. If I am, let me know in the comments. I don't know why. I actually have plenty of time to do shit today. I'm probably going to be hanging out with my cousin Logan here in 5 hours, and that gives me time to eat lunch, watch Dexter, wrap up the iceberg, start a movie. And yeah, I'll start